Good morning. My name is Josh Elohim. I am with BackNine Insurance. Today we'll be doing a webinar on business succession planning. I wanted to introduce Esther Hopkins from the law offices of Esther Hopkins. Esther will be speaking today on how to protect your business and to help you, the agent, to understand opportunities with your clients as well. Esther has 23 years of experience. She has over 13 years as a litigation attorney, so she knows that everything that can go wrong will go wrong, and she's defended business owners for a long time now. So without further ado, Esther Hopkins.
Thank you, Josh. Welcome, everyone. Today we are discussing planning for the business owner and the complex client. So in this day where we have so many online access to online products such as trust, wills, you can buy insurance online, and it becomes more and more where clients are looking to these sites and trying to decide, well, why would I go to you? Or you have a lot of different individuals out there that are selling the same product, and the important thing is to make yourself relevant and unique. How can you make yourself relevant and unique? Well, it's important to discuss what's a typical sales model. A typical sales model is transaction focused. Somebody comes to you, they say, I want some life insurance. You go ahead and you create the life insurance, or they ask you for the trust. You go and create the trust and you send them on their way. It's single issue focus. It doesn't focus necessarily on what the clients really need. It's focused on finishing the transaction and what am I going to get out of the client relationship. To make yourself important today, it's important to really start thinking differently, to start thinking more like an advisor. So it's important in thinking like an advisor to think on what are the client's needs, not what are your needs. So somebody walks into you and they tell you, I need a trust, or I need some life insurance. One of the first things you should be asking them is why? Why do you need that? It's important in being an advisor that you create a comprehensive plan that protects the client and the client's wealth, business, and loved ones. How do we do that? A comprehensive plan requires a comprehensive analysis of all issues that affect the client. So a client walks in and says they want insurance or they want a trust. You need to look at all the issues. You want to look at business succession planning. You want to look at death planning, asset protection. You want to consider retirement planning, incapacity, long-term care planning, tax planning that infiltrates everything, special needs planning for those that have family members or loved ones that have special needs, and of course financial planning. Not enough to just give somebody some product in a vacuum. It's important to look at all of these issues before you decide what you're going to give to your clients. So business succession planning, that's our focus today. And we want to look at what are some of the issues to consider when we have a business. What are some of the things that are important? Well, we want to think about what is the death, what happens if there's a death of an owner or a key employee? What are some of the effects that fall as a result of the death of a key owner or key employee? For example, you may end up with the decedent's heirs involved in the business. Are you going to want to do business with your partners or co-owners, spouse or children? Maybe the business will be unable to continue without that key employee or that key owner. How are we going to continue the business if they pass away? There's also to consider, we also want to consider that when we have the loss of a key owner, for example, we may have loss of income. Going to replace that income. If we're not planning ahead, we need to make sure that we don't pay any unnecessary taxes as a result of that, the death of that key owner. Disputes. Disputes are very common whenever you have the death of a key owner or employee, because a lot of clients fail to plan. We also want to consider probate. Do you want to have your partner's half of the business stuck in probate for years because they failed to plan, or your partner will end up having your half tied up in probate because you failed to plan? We also want to consider, in doing our business succession plan, we want to consider retirement or disability of a key owner or employee. We oftentimes will just proceed in our business and really not take time to think about what are our future plans. We're just going day by day. We don't think about the fact that if one of our partners retires, that we may or may not be able to continue that business, or what if they were disabled? How is that going to affect us, or your key employee that is basically running your business for you? It's really critical to start thinking about those things. Without planning, oftentimes you end up with disputes amongst the owners and the family members, or disputes with the owners of the business amongst themselves. For example, if you are no longer able to work in your business and your partner maybe gets a little resentful because you are still continuing to take some sort of income. So it's important to have some planning done. Also, the divorce of an owner, you want to plan, have an understanding if your spouse ends up with the business that maybe your partner will have the ability to buy back. And same thing with bankruptcy. If there's an owner that is in bankruptcy and there's a creditor involved, you want some language to protect you in the event that your partner is put into bankruptcy court. So the business succession plan also it's important to devise an effective plan. How can we devise an effective plan? Some of the keys are to creating what I like to call the prenup or postnup of a business. There are the partnership agreement, the shareholder agreement, the buy-sell agreement, the operating agreement. These documents are extremely important because they're important to lay out what is it that you guys believe is your arrangement with each other. You need to put it in writing. You need to say what you mean what you say in this document, and have a very clear understanding of what are everybody's rights and obligations in this partnership or ownership, co-ownership. You want to put things in place for key employees, incentives to keep them involved in the business so that they have skin in the game. What are some of the tools that we use? Maybe we want to think about giving them some ownership interest. You want to have an effective plan that is putting forth a saleable business. Your business is only as good as how saleable it is to a third party. You want to make sure you are treating your business like a business, that you've got a business plan in place, that you have proper accounting, you have proper contracts, etc. Make your business a saleable business. Make it a business that is going to be desirable for purchase in the event that that is what's part of your business succession plan. Oftentimes, whenever there is an event that calls for a succession, whether it be death or retirement or what have you, disability, the issue of valuation often comes up. And unfortunately, one partner or owner may have a view that the business is worth X amount while the other business or owner has a completely different view. This often leads to disputes. So before you reach one of those milestones, it's important to have agreed upon method of valuation and understanding of how are you guys going to come up with the valuation of the business. One thing that is often overlooked in creating a business succession plan or an estate plan is that you need to coordinate the business succession and the estate plan. They need to be coordinated because they are very much tied together. Unfortunately, oftentimes a business lawyer is involved in creating the business succession plan, and the estate plan is created by an estate planner, and neither of those two attorneys are speaking to each other. If you can find an attorney who can do both of those and have a coordinated plan, that's great. Or if not, make sure they're sitting in the same room. Make sure that they're talking about how those two plans are going to be aligned with each other. You want to have established solutions for business buyout. Well, how are we going to effectuate the buyout of the business when somebody dies? If the business is worth $50 million and your partner dies and now you're having to pay $25 million for their half of the business, how is that going to look? How are we going to pay for that? You need to address those as part of the plan. Liquidity is often one of the biggest issues that we deal with on the death of an owner or a key employee. Oftentimes, most of our assets are tied up in the business, and how are we going to pay for that buyout if there's a death of a key employee or owner when we do not have any cash to do so? So those are key issues to discuss and work through in creating an effective plan. So some of the essential tools for creating a successful business succession plan. You want to have a business plan. A business plan is important so that you can lay out what is your mission and your vision for your business. It'll help you set out goals. It's important to revisit that plan and modify it as your plan changes, as you change, as your vision changes. You want to have a budget. What this plan helps you do is really have a roadmap for where you're going and how you're going to get there. Really critical. It's a living, breathing document that needs to be changed at all times and looked at. You can't just create it and put it in a drawer. Same goes with your estate plan. You want to have a purposeful estate plan. What does that mean? It's not enough to go and just get a trust. It's not enough to get a will. You must ensure that that estate plan is tailored to who you are, who your family is. Oftentimes I will hear clients say to me, I have a very simple family, but as I start digging deep, I start finding issues that could come up and turn into problems, whether it's disputes with family members or they haven't addressed how the business is going to be addressed. More importantly, you have a family business. You have some family members working in the business, other family members are not, and there hasn't been any thought as to how that business is going to be handled in the estate plan. Taxes are critical both to your business plan and to your estate plan, and it's important to ensure that you don't pay taxes. The way to ensure that you don't pay unnecessary taxes is to have your tax professionals involved in all aspects of your planning. They should be involved in looking at your business. They should be involved in looking at your estate plan. It helps to avoid unnecessary income tax. It avoids unnecessary gift and estate tax, capital gains, real property taxes, etc. You do not want to pay more taxes. Nobody wants to pay more taxes than they have to. Life insurance policies are absolutely critical to the business succession plan. It's critical for life policies on your owners and on your key employees. Why is it important? When we discussed liquidity earlier, how are we going to pay for that buyout? Life insurance is one of the best ways that you can help the owners pay for that buyout. It's absolutely critical to take a look at it, not just the owners, but also the key employees. Sometimes, unfortunately, as we all know, maybe there's a client of ours that can't purchase life insurance for whatever reason. But there's other ways. There's other ways that we can have our clients self-insure, have some retirement planning. Some clients may self-insure for death, disability, and bankruptcy. However, they really need to sit down and really think about it. And it's important to sit with your professionals to come up with strategies for the buyout. Business sales to third parties, of course, that's always the option. Sometimes it's our only choice because we know that our family members have no desire to be involved in the business, or maybe we're just tired and we want to retire and we want to sell the business. And so we look at that as an option and we get ready to make sure that we have things in place. If we're going to sell the business, then maybe we need to look into getting life insurance on the personal side to make sure that our family is going to be okay, or some other type of insurance product that's going to make sure that we have a thoughtful retirement plan that's going to replace the loss of income from selling our business. And then, of course, long-term care insurance. That's one of the ways that we protect ourselves. We can't put all our eggs in one basket. We can't just say that the sale of our business is going to be the best solution and all the proceeds, because we don't know what's going to happen with our business. It could be worth a lot less than we thought. Something could go wrong. We need to make sure that our clients all have things in place so that they are planning properly. So at the end of the day, it's important to look at our clients and make sure that they're looking at all these issues. There are plenty of planning opportunities. Understanding your clients and knowing who they are, looking into what their needs are on both on the personal side and on the business side, and making sure that they have all their insurances so that that the client, their families, and their assets are protected. Thank you very much, Josh.
Esther, thank you very much. As usual, phenomenal job. So for everyone listening in, what we wanted to do here at BackNine Insurance is give you the ability to have a complimentary business valuation done for any of your clients. For anyone who's done this knows this can cost thousands to tens of thousands of dollars depending on the size of the company. Some of the things you're going to be able to accomplish here by doing this is you're going to help with help plan for retirement income, how to plan for exit planning, business protection, all the things important things that Esther had mentioned, wealth transfer, survivor income, as well as, planning for the future here. So, like Esther mentioned, you don't plan to fail, you fail to plan. So this is a really important tool that you'll have access to with BackNine Insurance. There are attorneys that do this from some of the carriers we work with. We'll have it back in 7 to 10 business days, and you'll have a full evaluation done of the business. Now, as an agent, 40% of the time when this is done, some type of insurance is sold, whether it be life insurance, disability income, annuities, or long-term care. Very, very powerful tool. Because you're listening in right now, I strongly recommend you take advantage of it. The only downside, just to let you know, is that this is an informal evaluation, so it cannot be used in court. But besides that, there's no better planning tool than taking advantage of the complimentary business valuation. As you see on the top left there, we can brand your logo there if you have your own personal logo that you want to use, and that way this will be your piece. So again, some of the tools we talked about that this is going to cover: retirement income, exit planning, business protection, et cetera, et cetera. We're here to help you, to protect you, and to protect your clients. All you have to do is have your client fill out the top section there. We can brand your information here in the bottom as you as the agent. Send that back to us. We'll send it into the carrier. Within 7 to 10 business days, we'll have a full evaluation done for your client's business. At that point, Esther is willing to set up an appointment with your client, with us and Esther, and she'll go ahead and go through the evaluation with you step by step, and then any plan that's going to come out of it will be done there. That's a service that you'll have access to by working with BackNine Insurance. Please make sure you take advantage of this here. So here's a quick question for you. When was the last time you reviewed your client's insurance? Well, life insurance is not going to be a set it and forget it thing. Unfortunately, too many people buy insurance, they put it in the closet, and then they have no clue what they have. People's needs are changing. Things do change. So we want to make sure that your insurance is adequate for your needs that are changing. So what we've done here is we have what's called a complimentary policy review form. All your client has to do is fill out the highlighted section in yellow, send that back to us at BackNine Insurance. What we're going to do here on your behalf as the agent is we're going to reach out to the carrier, grab all the pertinent in-force information, and see exactly what this client has. This can take time. It can be frustrating, but we will do it for you here. Once we receive that information back, based on what your client's needs are, we'll go ahead and give you some options. So let's say you're looking for the same death benefit but a lower premium. Well, we have access to 40-plus carriers, so we're going to go ahead and do all the dirty work for you and do what's right for your client, and we'll give you 3 options. Let's say your client's looking for the same premium but a higher death benefit. Again, we'll give you 3 of the most competitive options. Now, we see this one a lot, especially with people who are retiring. Let's say you have a policy that's grown over time and you have some cash in there, but you're going from a growth phase now to more of a stability phase. We can show you what a contractually guaranteed paid-up policy is with no additional premium on that contract. We're seeing a lot of that there, so please reach out and ask how we can do that for you, and we'll give you 3 of the most competitive options. Again, we can brand your logo on top here. This is about marketing you, not marketing ourselves. We want to make sure that we can help you out in every single step of the process here. A quick testimony from doing this policy review form. I had a financial planner I worked with in Chicago. He had a business owner, and we did the policy review, and we found out that he had a $20 million 10-year key man policy. They were paying roughly $112,000 a year. When we did the review and we shopped the case, we were able to get him the same $20 million 10-year term policy for another carrier at $73,000 of premium. Saved the client about $40,000. We ended up putting about $50,000 of commission in the agent's pocket. Everyone was extremely happy in the situation. Again, we can brand your logo on this policy review form. Sometimes the simplest things in life can be the most effective, and this is one of those tools here. Strongly recommend you taking advantage of the policy review. So please reach out to me. Esther does a phenomenal job with business planning, so give us a call. We'll refer you over to Esther. She's definitely a partner that we work with, that we've had a lot of success with, and she'll help to make you look really good in front of your clients. Thank you very much, and everyone have a great day.